Alright fellas, welcome back. It's what day is it today? It's freaking Wednesday. It's time to dry hop, or start the process at least a tiny little bit early, of the beer that we brewed up, the Mosaic Pale Ale. 2 packs of US04 went into that. I'll get into that later on. First time using the probe up against the fermenter. Seems to be doing alright. She fermented well, and the second day I checked it and she was blip 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 blip, and then the next day I checked it, silence. I pressed on the lid, it was very, very firm. Today I've checked it, lid is less firm, no movement, no noise or anything. So it seems like it's done most of its fermentation in like 2 days. She's not done, and the dry hopping has got 5 days. So she'll have another 5 days to sort of finish off what she's doing fermenting wise. But I'm just jumping the gun a little bit with the hoppage. So 40 grams of Mosaic is going into this for dry hop, and then we're going to chat a little bit about the brew day, because I got quite a few comments. Right, so this was one of the main reasons why I didn't put the probe on the fermenter, is because I would, you know, I'm going to have to undo that probe if I take it out. So I'm going to try to just crack the lid and tip the hops in. Can you see anything? Can you, buggery? But 40 grams. I've dropped one. No! 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 Oh, you bastard. Oh, 41. Hey, 41 grams. I'll have a peek in. You cannot, but I will. Oh, she's still fermenting. So we're just going to chuck these in. Can you smell them? Drag it out a bit.
What are you doing now, Daddy?
What am I doing? I'm just doing a little video.
A camera?
With the camera, yeah.
Yeah.
These are called hops.
Ups.
Hops, yeah.
Oh.
Watch this. You ready?
I'm ready.
You ready? Okay, watch this. How's that? Is that brilliant? Calcium sulfate is what you're stood on. Hey, right little tripod setup. So I was, you know, gunning to do this video. I was really like, oh man, this is going to be a good video to do, because there's some questions to answer. There's some questions that I don't know about. You know, I don't know the answer to the questions. And then there was a bit of a discussion, and I thought I'd run through them. And I thought, why not dry hopper while we're doing it? So it all sort of ties in. 36 comments. Oh my giddy aunt. Before I start with these comments, I better explain that the water addition process to the brewing now that we're going to do here is extremely new to me. And all I've got so far from dipping my toe into it is that I need these water additions, because that is what Beersmith is asking to add in the quantities it's asking. Alright? So it means I know nothing. I know nothing. I'm starting to learn it all. So when I got like asked a load of questions about stuff, half of them's like, I don't know yet. Like, if you don't know, I know as much as you know. Dan ABA commented saying, nice, you'll want to dissolve that salt in your strike water before adding it to your mash, just to make sure it dissolves right, otherwise it could just settle out, which is a fair point. I believe getting the carbonate to dissolve is a bitch though. I like to do it the night before. Cheers. So that might be something I'll look into. The reason why I don't add it to the strike water is because, well, I don't know how everyone else does it, but the HLT is just filled each and every time, just filled. So I use like half of it or a quarter of it for the mash, so that the rest of the water is still at temp. So when I top it up, it isn't long before the temps are back up for recirculating. So if I added the additions to the strike water I'm not using all that water in the mash because I do it that way, so I didn't want to lose or leave any behind, if that makes sense. But I can do the dissolving the night before, like Dan said. Beer by Numbers says, cool to see some water additions in practice. That's something I hope to start soon. Cheers. Yes, well, I'm just starting myself. Stefan Sandra, did you pitch 2 packs instead of rehydrating the yeast? Yes, I did. 2 packs of US04. Eves Bristol Brewing says, love me some Mosaic poos. Yes, friggin' awesome hop. I want to brew Chris. I said, wicked brew day, buddy. Pumps work their magic. They friggin' did. Should be a cracking beer. I'm hoping so, Chris. I'm hoping so. Graham Hughes said, good video, but I almost forgot to give it a thumbs up. And to get it out for all to see. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And to get it out for all to see. The Old Farts Brewery, old Jim. Very technical on the water. We'll be watching with interest to see how it turns out. Shame about the meltdown on the friggin' pump. On the plug. Never mind, Jim. I'm glad it actually did it, because now it's boosted me to do it. And luckily I was around when I could smell the wires heating up. So yeah, once I get that done, I can leave it and know that nothing's going to burst into flames. Tony Yates has commented saying, right on, Tom. What was your target water profile? So I was aiming for Burton-on-Trent. He's put, I sure hope that scale was showing 2 decimal places as 17 grams of calcium sulfate. I hope that was saying 17 grams of calcium sulfate. Seems more correct than 172 grams. Hard to see the decimal point. But the pile in the mash looked okay. Whew. That is a big relief. I did run it by Harry when I was showing him the measurements, and he was like, yeah, that seems okay. And then someone left a comment saying, that seems a lot, man, that seems a lot, I don't add that. And I was thinking to myself, well, we'll come to the comment in a minute, but at least Tony said it just doesn't look like out of the ordinary. Yes, it was 17.19 grams of calcium sulfate, Tony. And then he said, I'd like to know if you checked your pH, your mash pH and sparge water pH. Looking forward to what you think. Cheers. I haven't got a pH reader, Tony, so I'm battling to get one as quick as possible so I can start to dial it in. And this is where I go back to the fact that I'm completely new to water additions, and that video of the brew day where I added them for the first time was just me sort of thinking, I've got them telling me what I want to add. I know I should be checking the pH readings, but I haven't got a pH reader. So let's just throw caution to the wind on this one, dip the toe in big time, possibly tipple in myself. But you're right, and a lot of people have mentioned this about the pH. It's something I'm looking to get next, and possibly in an upcoming video I'll explain a little bit more about what I'm wanting to do. Scott Malley says, can't wait to see the results of your Colombian and effects on the hop profile. Can always treat yourself to some Colombian and see what effect it has on your brew day, Grief. I would imagine it would help me tremendously. Floor Sweepers Union, he's put, stoked to see those pumps causing 0 dramas. I was as well, thank you. I'm sure those hops will pop with some goodness in the water. Cheers. Harley Wiseman, back to the pH. Nice video. Did the salt additions hit your mash pH? I wouldn't know, because again, no pH reader. It's something that I'm drastically wanting to get very, very quickly, especially now I've got the water additions. Japanophile, very fast yeast, by the way. Evidently, yeah, it's done in like 2-3 days. And again, do you control for pH? I will be doing once I get the pH reader. Sandra Allsop says, nice brew, thank you very much. Wagon Brewing, nice video, Tom. Should be a nice beer, cheers. Excellent. Rusty Homebrew. That old Rusty, the son of a bitch. Those are some beautiful pumps. Yes. kegkingdom.co.uk. Don't forget to use the discount code TOM. 10% off. There's always one that has to ask the dumb question, so here it is. Why 2 packs of yeast? It's not a stupid question at all. Most of the time I only pitch 1 pack. I don't rehydrate it, I just pitch it. But when I last placed my order with Harry, and I ordered some US04, he sent me a few packs of them, and I looked at the date and they were sort of coming to the end of their sell by date or best used by date, and I noticed he was pitching 2, and I thought, I wonder if it's because of that. So I thought, you know what, I'll pitch 2 just to be on the safe side. Grumpy Matlow Brewing, great video, convinced me to buy a pump. Yeah, kegkingdom.co.uk. Use the discount code TOM and they get you 10% off the price. Ken Fuller. Hi Tom, do you pre-treat your water before the additions or do you use reverse osmosis water? All the best. Don't use reverse osmosis water, and I think, because like I've explained about how I use my strike water, I think I'm just going to add them to the mash. The Blundering Brewer, he's put sweet, love Mosaic. That seemed a lot of water additions compared to what I did. What profile are you going for? Burton? Yeah, Burton-on-Trent. Also, are your additions based on the profile Tony Yates did for you? Yes. Now, I haven't got a water treating kit, so I'm assuming they haven't altered from that much from when he did the readings. I'm sure in time they will, and that's why, again, I'll have to get a kit to do another test myself. Possibly the reason why it seemed a lot of water additions compared to what you do is because my water that I'm starting with is probably different to what you're starting with, so the amounts will differ. Dimpy Jigsaw says, nice one, thank you. Banjo Brew, everyone's at Mosaic recently. Such a great hop on their own. Those pumps look class. Yeah, Mosaic's friggin' awesome. Matt Goss, another cool video, Tom. What size are your heating elements? I'm looking at setting up, but want to plan the electrical side, and there is so much choice. I think mine are 1900 watt. I think, I could be wrong, but I remember when I was doing the HLT and Harry said to me, especially when I got the coil in fact the HLT just had one element in it. The second I put the coil in for recirculating, he said, why you're cutting the holes, get another element in there, because when you're filling this back up after the mash, you're cooling the temperature because you're adding water to it, and you want to get that water up to mashing temps, so when you recirc you can do it straight away and you're not losing any temps. The same for sparging as well, so I can ramp that up to sparge temps very quickly after the mash is done. So if you're doing HLT, I've used 2 elements because it just increases the speed to get your temps up. Byron's Homebrew was going to comment a couple of brew vids ago that you hadn't changed over the plugs like your boil kettle. I know. I remember the vid of the boil kettle plug replacement and you saying you were changing the HLT plugs later. Anyway, another cracking brew day. Cheers, man. Yeah, I dragged my heels with it and sort of, I don't know, thought I'll just get another brew out of it, but I should have done it. Should have done it when I wasn't brewing, so I didn't have a calamity. And then Nuntius, another good video, quick thinking on the wiring, and glad the pumps work well. Cheers. So yeah, I hope that clears up a few things on the question side for the last video uploaded, the brew day, but the underlining thing to it is that I am starting off learning now about water additions. So the next thing I need is a pH reader, and then we can really keep track of what's happening. And I just wanted to throw caution to the wind, crack on with it, and just get a glimpse into water treatment. So I did. But yes, everyone's right. I need to be looking at the pH now, and I need to buy a pH meter. Friggin' nice! So as always, guys, don't forget to thumbs up the video because you don't want to do. Don't forget to subscribe. So hit the red button down, hit subscribe, click it, you know what's coming up next. Share the video, get it out there for all to see, and until next time, I'm out of here. Bye.